It is back to school time, and as kids start getting ready to go back all over the United States, usually it is at different times, I thought I would address some of the questions I get asked about what we use for our homeschool curriculum. And it's a little interesting because I feel like we do it different than what is traditional. So you have different types of homeschooling, I feel like. So this is for our homeschoolers, which if you watched our last video, you know that all of our kids are going to be homeschooled this year. So we have let me see if I can remember this. We have one going into kindergarten. We have one going into second grade. We have two going into fifth grade, one going into sixth grade. We have, after sixth grade, one going into eighth grade, two going in to high school. Oh my gosh, I can't believe. Two going into high school, or I say high school, actually we have 4 high schoolers. We have 2 going into their first year of high school, so freshman year. We have a sophomore, so a 10th grader, and then we have Emma, who is in 11th grade this year. Man, so if I counted right, I think that's 10 kids in school this year. We are going to homeschool them all. And here's what we do. We never do the same thing every year. We do what works best for our family according to the kids' ages, their needs, and there's a lot of different factors I feel like that go into how we do our schooling. Also, there is like traditional homeschool, and then there is something called unschooling. If you are not familiar with unschooling, unschooling is basically when you don't teach your children anything like book-wise, and you just let them go out and explore their world and learn from their environment. We do a mixture. When I first heard about unschool, so this was like right before we were homeschooling, and I was talking to a neighbor friend, and she was telling me all about homeschool, and they did it very traditional homeschool, where they sat down in their home at desks, and they learned out of a curriculum from books and things like that. So she was telling me all about the stuff that they use, and she mentioned unschooling, and I didn't really think anything about it till I got home, and I thought, I wonder what that is. What is unschooling? So I looked it up and learned about it, and I'm like, that's very interesting, because I think that learning from your environment is so incredibly important that, man, I feel like you could learn a lot from just doing daily stuff, like watching your parents, and from the things around you. For instance, John, he has learned how to work on cars. He has learned how to build fences. He has helped Sean build the chicken coop. He has helped, do dirt work. I mean, there's so many things. And then the kids have all learned about animals. And so that would be learning from your environment. Like cooking, baking, that's learning from your environment. I think those things are so important. For our elementary school kids, we do more of a typical or traditional homeschool approach, where I look at Common Core, we do worksheets, we use online resources. Everything we use is free. At the end of this video, I am going to let the kids tell you what they like to use, because all of the kids like something different. And this is one of the great things I like about homeschool, is that the kids really learn how to problem solve. They're able to go out and find resources on their own that fit them, that they like using. And so I really like that aspect of it, that they are able to really problem solve themselves. And then we have kids using different things, but then they'll get the other kids hooked on what they're using, because they'll share that information, and then a lot of the kids will end up using it. So it's nice that they can do that. So after you and I are done talking, then I will bring in the kids and I'll have them share some of their favorite things that they use. It's like they have different websites for typing, for spelling, for how they do like quizzes, and like just different websites that do different things as far as what they're learning on them. I know that some of them will do like quizzes with each other and see who can win, and they can like each have their own computer or laptop, and then they can do those games together, which is really fun. When they found that, I thought, oh my gosh, like that's genius that you guys could all do that together and compete, and they end up having a lot of fun doing that. So, school can be fun too. A lot of the resources that I use for the elementary kids, like we actually had a subscription to education.com. You can print all kinds of worksheets. They actually have the Common Core for every grade listed on there for math and language arts. And you can pull all of your resources from there. They even have like little workbooks that you can use. And they have, I felt like, a lot of different items as far as they'll have the Common Core for that grade, and then they will have all kinds of worksheets to go along with those items. So we use that, I believe, for the first, actually not for the first year. I think I actually found that my second year I started doing homeschool, or second year we were doing homeschool, and I used it for the second year and third year. So I, at one point, went through all of the Common Core stuff, and I picked out what I felt like was the most useful information that you would carry on into adulthood, that like it was the stuff that I really, really want the kids to retain because I just think that they're going to need it. And there are some things that I feel like that you learn in school, even in elementary school, that you don't really necessarily need in adulthood. And usually what I do is I think about it like this: have Sean or I used it in our adult lives? Because Sean has a doctorate and I have a bachelor's degree. He is a doctor. I have a business degree, so two very different degrees. And if him or I haven't used it at all ever in our adult lives, then it's probably something that's not overly important. And if you need it, you will definitely cover it again, like when you go through your training, when you're really studying to be what you want to be. So whether that's in your last few years of high school, whether that's in like a specialized training program, or maybe it's in college. So that's kind of how I look at it. So I went through the Common Core. I picked out what I thought the kids would absolutely 100% need to know in their life, and I made a test off of that. So I have a kindergarten test, a first grade test, a second grade test, a third grade test, and I just went up to third grade. And then I took all of my kids, including my older kids, and I gave them those tests. And it was very telling. I will say that if you have kids that have been in foster care, that sometimes, because life is throwing things at them, that they're maybe not retaining information in whatever grades they were in before they were in foster care, or maybe even what grades they were in during foster care. If there happens to be a lot going on in their lives, their case, their past, we give our kids the test, and then anything that they get wrong, we make sure we go back and we reteach that. So then, and we will reteach that over and over and over again until like it is solid in their minds. Sometimes you have to revisit things a couple times, because sometimes I have some kids who they have a hard time retaining information. And so they have to learn it over and over again until it gets retained. And then, we'll move on, and then we might have to go back and revisit, which is fine. So I give them these tests, and then I can see what things they still need to work on, and then they can work on those. And it doesn't matter if they're 5, it doesn't matter if they're 10, it doesn't matter if they're 15. You can go back and learn that stuff at any age. So I will do the Common Core all the way through third grade. Sometimes I might do it through fourth grade, depending on the child and what they still need to learn. But for sure, we do everything through third grade. Once the kids get into like fourth grade, I will usually then start teaching a little bit different. So instead of following the Common Core, we'll start branching off and finding out what their interests are. I will start assigning subjects to them to do presentations on. Sometimes they have to write papers for me. So then I will pick out topics. For example, some of the things that we have done is I had them plan a vacation overseas, and they had to do it from start to finish. They had to find the airline. They had to find the price of the tickets. They had to figure out if there was connecting flights. They had to figure out where they were going to stay in a hotel. They had to figure out how they were going to rent a car. They had to figure out like food. They had to figure out what they were going to do on that vacation, and then how they were going to get home. Were they going to take anybody with them? So I had them plan out this whole overseas vacation. It was interesting to see what the kids chose as far as locations that they wanted to go. We've also talked about things like emotional intelligence. I think that that's very important. We have done things that the kids are just interested in. So some of them are interested in art, some of them in music, some of them in sports. Sean has taught like the human body, and because he's a chiropractor, he has he really enjoys the human body, the muscles, the bones. So he taught the kids that. We always do things on like sex education, and once they get to a certain age. One of my favorites was having the kids start their own business. And they had to find out where they were going to get their funding or how much they needed to save. They had to find out how much rent was going to be for a location, or if they were going to buy their building. They had to figure out what supplies they needed to start their business. They had to find out what kind of licenses they were going to need. And that was interesting because I loved seeing what businesses the kids wanted to start. And it kind of gives you some insight into what their interests are. Now, we did some of this stuff years ago, so really I should be doing it now with my next set of kids. It would be like Izzy, Gavin, Lily, and so then we may come back and revisit that stuff. Usually when we start school, I like to start like September 1st. I just feel like then all the summer stuff is over. Everybody else is usually back to school, and it just feels like a really good time. Now, we do school like all year, but I am a little bit more lax during the summer months. So like right now, instead of doing it for 3 hours a day, we usually go 9 to noon. We're just doing it from 10 to noon instead, and that gives them a little bit more time to do the things that they want to do, because again, I do think learning outdoors and being able to do things that you're interested in are super important too. You can learn a ton of stuff from just doing things that you enjoy. As far as specific curriculum, so we use education.com. I have been using, it is called Adventure Academy, and the kids, they were like, it's okay. We're not like super fond of it. But they thought that it worked for them. They just kind of didn't like the setup of it. And Adventure Academy is, I think it's by ABC Mouse. I think ABC Mouse is for younger kids, and then Adventure Academy is for like, I think 8 to 13. So it's very similar to that. I think those are really the only 2 resources that I've ever paid for. The education.com for the younger kids I thought was great. It gave you access to a lot of different types of information, a lot of worksheets, workbooks. So that was really good. The Adventure Academy I was a little bit disappointed in, but I need to probably check into a little bit more to that. They thought that they couldn't pick what they wanted to learn, but I was pretty sure that you were supposed to be able to pick your own. They were saying that it just kind of like assigned it to you. And so maybe there was something I was doing wrong. I didn't research it a ton. I set up profiles for the kids, and then I let them just play on it and kind of feel it out, see what they thought. So maybe there was something that I was doing wrong on my end. Otherwise, everything that we do, like I'll go online and I'll research free resources, and there are like tons and tons of free resources out there. I'll get websites that list out like 50 different other websites that are free resources. Some of them are YouTube channels. We actually use YouTube on the TV a lot for learning. So we'll search up a subject, whether it's science or politics, or sometimes I'll have the kids learn about themselves. So like how to focus more, or like if they have ADHD, what are some things that I can do, or what are other people doing? Like, we just feel it out. I love free resources. I'm not opposed to paying for things if they're really good, but I also feel like you can find so much out there that is free. And then like just having the kids do presentations. So I'll assign a presentation topic for 1 week. They'll start researching on Monday. They'll put together a presentation during the week, and then on Friday they will present. Sometimes I have them present to me. Sometimes I will have them present just to each other, and then have like group discussions. So there are a lot of, I feel like, learning things within the learning itself. Now, I am excited to hear what the kids say. There's a couple things that I know that they really love to use because I get notifications on my computer anytime the kids download something. And so it will tell me that like this app has access to this child's computer now. So I know some of the things that they're using. I'm curious to see if that is what they say is their favorite things to use. So I am going to bring in the kids. I think I'm going to just do them one by one and ask them what their favorite resources are, and maybe it will give you some ideas. I have Gavin here, and Gavin is 10 years old, and he is going into
5th grade.
5th grade. You're still considered elementary. What is your favorite online resource that you use during the day for your schooling?
GimKit booklet.
Okay, so GimKit,
booklet.
Blockit or Blookit or something like that.
Nitro type.
Okay, Nitro type.
A math playground.
Math playground. Is that free?
Mm.
Okay.
But some of them you have to get a membership. Ah, I forgot of it. I forgot it.
Okay, well, 4 is good.
No, I need it. I need that one. You have it downloaded.
You have to remember. Adventure Academy?
Yeah, Adventure Academy.
I thought you guys didn't like Adventure Academy.
It's actually really fun.
It's fun?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's good.
You get to design skins and do math.
Yeah, it's like a learning video game, but it's kind of like the games the kids play now. So like you have an avatar and you go and you can search things, and so yeah. I have Elena. Elena is 13 and she's going into 8th grade.
8th grade.
I almost messed that one up. She's going into 8th grade. Gosh.
Khan Academy.
Oh, Khan Academy. I
like
forgot about that
Academy.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do it every single day. It has all the subjects, math, reading.
So you use the free version of Khan Academy and you really like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the only one that you like? Is that your favorite?
I'll play Blockit and GimKit with some of the kids,
Yeah.
but I don't really find it as learning
Okay.
because the stuff they do is not my level.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have the thing open, and then I'll have a worksheet in front of me doing it.
Yep.
And then whenever they need me to play, I'll just go on it, do what I need to, and then go back to the worksheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing both.
Yeah, both at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
Lily is next. She is 6th grade and bless you.
Thank you.
11 years old. So online resources that we use for our homeschooling, what is your favorite, or what's something that you found? Because a lot of things you guys have found that I didn't.
GimKit.
Okay, GimKit, tell me what it is.
Basically, it's this, you press on a game, but you have to answer questions just to move. And you answer questions like division or multiplication or
Neat.
spelling.
Do you go up levels, or?
Yeah, you can go up levels.
A lot of the kids love playing that. And it's still for your level, 6th grade? Or
Yes.
I guess you were 5th grade, so,
Yeah.
and it's still for that level?
Yes.
Nice.
John and Emma played it in middle school.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. So did you find it from when you were in public school? Was that
No.
something you guys used?
Gavin told us about it from public school.
Oh, did he?
Gavin found it.
But it's a free resource.
Yeah.
Rosie, let me think. Oh, freshman in high school. How can I forget?
In high school.
And 14 years old. What is your favorite resource that you guys have found that you use for homeschooling that you guys just kind of do on your own?
GimKit and Blockit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's basically you can play with people, and then there's also a setting where you can play by yourself.
Okay, that's nice.
And and it has different types of games, and then there's also a practice one if you don't want to do any games and just want to practice it.
Cool.
And then for spelling, I hate spelling.
Yeah, it's hard for a lot of our kids. Yeah.
And the one that I found to help me the most is homespelling.
Okay.
And you can do either one. Like, you could practice test a test or all these different types of games. Oh, for worksheets,
Yeah.
my favorite thing is, I think it's called K-12 learning.
Okay, yeah.
And
K-12, or there's also a K-5 learning too, but I think
I think it's K. I don't know if it's K-5 or if it's K-12.
I think there's both.
I think there's
and
both.
they do have free resources on both of those websites.
Yeah, I like their worksheets.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's good.
I think, and then just Duolingo for languages.
Yeah, Duolingo we do for Spanish, but I don't know if it's really helping the kids that much, honestly. So I know like John is looking into other resources because he really, really wants to learn Spanish.
Yeah,
And he just kind of felt like it wasn't really helping him that much.
No.
So for maybe like simple things that would, but we'll let you know if we find another free resource for Spanish that works better for him. Next is Isabella, and she is going into 5th grade, and she is 10, almost 11 years old. So free resources that you guys use. What's some of your favorite for homeschooling?
Okay, Gumkit.
GimKit, okay.
I like Blockit.
Okay.
I like YouTube.
Watching YouTube stuff, yep, okay. They actually have a lot of really good channels on YouTube for education.
I would say if you can learn things really fast, Adventure Academy would be a good one. That's hard.
Well, that's good. So if those are your favorites, that's a lot.
I like those.
Those 3?
Yeah, and there's this one multiplication one. I can't think of the name. But it's all multiplication and...
It's not
really
Math
good.
Playground?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, because Gavin said that one.
He did?
Yeah. I'll have to look it up. If we can find it, we will put it down here for you to see. Hopefully you guys learned something in today's video. Like I said, we don't really use a curriculum. I kind of just come up with it other than the Common Core stuff myself, and we teach them what we feel like they need to know when they're going to go out and live on their own. Hopefully what the kids shared with you is useful, because I feel like they have a lot of resources that they have found that they really love, and so hopefully some of those work out for you. And bonus, if it's free, why not? So thank you for tagging along today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.